Chapter 1: What is cellular aging? The hidden clock inside your body. When we talk about aging, most people immediately think about the obvious external signs: wrinkles around the eyes, gray strands of hair, or perhaps stiff joints that don't move quite as smoothly as they used to. But what if I told you that these are just the surface-level consequences of something much deeper, something happening invisibly inside every single one of your trillions of cells? This deeper process is called cellular aging, and it represents the gradual decline in the health, resilience, and efficiency of your body at the smallest level, the level of the cell. Each cell in your body functions almost like a tiny city. It has power plants, mitochondria, information archives, DNA, communication systems, hormonal and chemical messengers, and a security system, immune response. For your body to stay healthy and youthful, all of these cellular cities need to be in balance and operating smoothly. As the years pass, however, cells start to struggle. They accumulate small bits of DNA damage from daily life, their mitochondria don't generate as much energy as they once did, and they lose the ability to replicate and repair with precision. Imagine trying to make a photocopy of a photocopy over and over again. Eventually, the copies lose sharpness. That's what happens when cells divide repeatedly over decades. This process doesn't start with a bang. It begins quietly, often without you even noticing, somewhere in your 30s or 40s. By this time, your body has been exposed to decades of environmental stressors, things like pollution, processed foods, lack of sleep, psychological stress, and oxidative damage from free radicals. At first, your cells still manage to keep up. But over time, small cracks in the system begin to show. Slower wound healing: a cut that used to heal in 3 days may now take a week. Reduced energy levels: fatigue creeps in more easily, even after a full night's rest. Hormonal shifts: your metabolism and stress response don't function as smoothly. Increased susceptibility to disease: everything from colds to chronic conditions becomes more common. The most important point to understand is this: aging is not simply fate. It's not just something that happens because of the calendar. It's a biological process, and here's the empowering part: it's a process you can influence. Every lifestyle choice you make, the food you eat, the way you move, the sleep you get, the stress you manage, sends direct signals to your cells. These signals can either accelerate the internal ticking clock or slow it down. By understanding how cellular aging works, you can actively shape how your body feels, functions, and even looks as you grow older. In other words, you can't stop time, but you can slow down biology's clock. Chapter 2: Telomeres, the cellular timekeepers. If every cell in your body is a city, then your DNA is the library that holds the instruction manuals for keeping that city running. But just like any book, your DNA needs protective covers so the pages don't fray with use. In your cells, these protective covers are called telomeres. Telomeres are stretches of repeating DNA sequences located at the ends of your chromosomes. Think of them like the plastic tips on shoelaces. Their only job is to prevent your genetic material from unraveling during cell division. Every time a cell divides, which is how your body grows, heals, and maintains itself, a small portion of the telomere is lost. Over time, as telomeres get shorter, cells lose their ability to divide effectively. When telomeres become too short, the cell enters a stage known as cellular senescence. This is like a cell's retirement phase. It doesn't function properly anymore, but it doesn't die off either. Instead, senescent cells hang around, releasing inflammatory molecules that actually accelerate the aging of nearby healthy cells. Scientists call this the senescence-associated secretory phenotype, SASP, essentially, a toxic cloud of inflammatory signals. Research has shown a powerful link between telomere length and health outcomes. People with shorter telomeres are significantly more likely to experience cardiovascular disease, heart attacks, strokes, metabolic disorders like diabetes, cognitive decline and dementia, premature death from all causes. But the discovery that changed everything is this: telomere shortening is not entirely fixed. For decades, scientists believed telomeres only shortened and never lengthened. Then, studies revealed that a special enzyme called telomerase can actually rebuild telomeres under the right conditions. What activates telomerase? Not expensive futuristic drugs, but often simple lifestyle choices. A nutrient-rich diet high in antioxidants and low in processed foods. Regular exercise, especially aerobic activity. Stress management through meditation, yoga, or even deep breathing. Social connection and purpose. People with strong social ties and a sense of meaning in life often have longer telomeres. In other words, telomeres are not your fate, they're a reflection of how you live. By protecting and even lengthening your telomeres, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. Chapter 3: The Role of Mitochondria, Powering Youth from Within. Every cell in your body needs energy to function, and that energy comes in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. ATP is like the universal currency of life. It powers your muscles, keeps your brain firing, drives hormone production, and fuels cellular repair. The organelles responsible for producing ATP are called mitochondria. Often referred to as the powerhouses of the cell, mitochondria are among the most important factors in cellular aging. When they're strong and abundant, your cells buzz with energy. When they're weak and dysfunctional, fatigue sets in, damage accumulates, and aging accelerates. Here's the challenge: as we age, mitochondria naturally become less efficient. They produce less ATP and generate more free radicals, unstable oxygen molecules that damage DNA, proteins, and cell membranes. This imbalance, more damage, less energy, is known as oxidative stress, and it's one of the central drivers of aging. Symptoms of mitochondrial decline often appear as chronic fatigue that doesn't improve with rest, muscle weakness or reduced stamina, brain fog or slower cognitive processing, slower healing and recovery after exercise or illness. In fact, many scientists now classify mitochondrial dysfunction as one of the official hallmarks of aging. Without healthy mitochondria, it's impossible to maintain youthful energy or cellular resilience. But here's the good news: mitochondria are highly adaptable. They can be strengthened, multiplied, and made more efficient through your lifestyle choices. Think of them like muscles: if you train them, they grow stronger. Ways to boost mitochondrial health include nutritional support. Nutrients like CoQ10, alpha-lipoic acid, magnesium, and omega-3 fatty acids are essential for mitochondrial energy production. Polyphenols from green tea, olive oil, and berries help reduce oxidative stress. Exercise, especially high-intensity interval training, HIIT, and endurance training, both of which stimulate the production of new mitochondria, a process called mitochondrial biogenesis. Intermittent fasting, periodic fasting signals cells to clean up damaged mitochondria and build new ones through autophagy, the body's natural recycling system. Deep breathing and oxygen optimization, practices like yoga, pranayama, and even spending time in fresh air give mitochondria the oxygen they need to work efficiently. The takeaway: when you protect your mitochondria, you protect your vitality. Strong mitochondria give every cell the power to repair itself, communicate effectively, and resist the wear and tear of time. In essence, they are the batteries of youth, and with the right care, you can keep them charged for decades longer. Chapter 4: Senescent cells, the zombie cells of aging. When we imagine aging, most of us think of tired cells that simply shut down and die. But not all old cells follow this script. Some cells refuse to die and instead enter a bizarre twilight state known as cellular senescence. In this state, a cell no longer divides, but it also doesn't go through programmed cell death, apoptosis, which is the body's natural way of recycling damaged or useless cells. Instead, it lingers, alive but dysfunctional. Scientists often call these cells the zombie cells because, much like zombies in movies, they don't contribute positively to society, yet they wreak havoc on everything around them. Here's why they're a problem. Toxic secretions: senescent cells release a stew of harmful chemicals, inflammatory cytokines, growth factors, and enzymes. Collectively, this is called the senescence-associated secretory phenotype, SASP. This cocktail promotes chronic inflammation, damages healthy neighboring cells, and even encourages more cells to become senescent. It's like one abandoned factory in a city leaking toxic waste that spreads pollution to surrounding neighborhoods. Tissue breakdown. Over time, these secretions weaken the structure of tissues. In joints, they accelerate cartilage breakdown, contributing to arthritis. In blood vessels, they promote plaque buildup, increasing the risk of heart disease. In skin, they destroy collagen and elastin, leading to wrinkles and sagging. Disease acceleration. The accumulation of senescent cells has been linked to cancer because they disrupt normal cell signaling, diabetes, osteoporosis, and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. But here's the hopeful news: researchers are actively exploring ways to clear out these zombie cells. This new area of study is called senolytics. Senolytics are compounds that selectively target and remove senescent cells, essentially acting like a cleanup crew for your body. Some promising natural senolytics include quercetin, a flavonoid found in apples, onions, and capers. Fisetin, abundant in strawberries, cucumbers, and apples. Studies suggest it may be particularly powerful in reducing senescent cell burden. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, well known for its anti-inflammatory effects, also shows potential in controlling senescent activity. Resveratrol, found in grapes and red wine, which activates longevity pathways, sirtuins, that may limit senescence. Think of it this way: if your body is a thriving city, senescent cells are like broken-down factories leaking toxins into the streets. The more of them that pile up, the harder it is for the city to function. But if you can identify and remove these dysfunctional factories, the rest of the city can breathe, repair, and thrive. The cutting-edge vision of anti-aging science is that, one day, senolytic therapies could dramatically extend not just lifespan but healthspan, the years you remain energetic and disease-free. Until then, supporting your body with natural compounds and lifestyle choices that limit senescent cell buildup is one of the smartest things you can do for longevity. Chapter 5: Inflammation and Oxidative Stress, the twin accelerators of aging. If cellular aging were a fire, the two things throwing fuel on the flames would be chronic inflammation and oxidative stress. Let's start with oxidative stress. Every time your cells create energy, they produce tiny byproducts called free radicals. These are unstable molecules missing an electron, which makes them highly reactive. To stabilize themselves, free radicals steal electrons from nearby molecules, damaging DNA, proteins, and cell membranes in the process. Normally, your body has a defense system, antioxidants. These molecules, found in many fruits, vegetables, and even produced naturally in your body, neutralize free radicals and keep them in check. The problem arises when there are too many free radicals and not enough antioxidants. This imbalance is oxidative stress, like rust slowly corroding metal from the inside. Now add chronic inflammation to the mix. Inflammation itself is not bad, it's a healing response. When you cut your finger, your immune system floods the area with inflammatory molecules to kill bacteria and start repair. But if your immune system gets stuck in on mode because of poor diet, stress, toxins, or hidden infections, inflammation becomes destructive. This constant, low-grade inflammation is often called inflammaging. It damages tissue silently for years, contributing to arthritis, where inflammation erodes joint cartilage. Atherosclerosis, inflammation turns cholesterol deposits into dangerous plaques that clog arteries. Neurodegeneration, inflammation in the brain accelerates diseases like Alzheimer's. Insulin resistance, inflammation disrupts the way cells respond to insulin, fueling diabetes. So where do inflammation and oxidative stress come from? Here are the biggest culprits. Ultra-processed foods high in refined sugar, white flour, and seed oils. Smoking and exposure to air pollution. Chronic stress and lack of sleep. Excessive alcohol intake. Sedentary lifestyle. On the flip side, you can actively fight both processes with your daily choices. Antioxidant-rich foods, colorful vegetables and fruits, berries, spinach, broccoli, dark chocolate, nuts, seeds, green tea. Anti-inflammatory foods, fatty fish rich in omega-3s, turmeric, ginger, garlic, leafy greens, extra virgin olive oil. Lifestyle practices, regular exercise, restorative sleep, and stress reduction techniques all dramatically lower inflammation. Imagine your body as a home. Oxidative stress is like termites slowly eating away at the foundation, while chronic inflammation is like a fire alarm blaring 24/7, wearing everyone down. The secret to aging gracefully is to keep both termites and false alarms under control, and create an environment where your cells can repair instead of constantly fight. Chapter 6: The Gut-Cell Connection. Most people think of the gut as just a digestive tube, a place where food is broken down and nutrients are absorbed. But modern science has revealed a stunning truth: your gut is also a command center for your overall health, including cellular aging. Inside your gut lives a vast ecosystem of trillions of bacteria, viruses, and fungi collectively called the microbiome. Far from being freeloaders, these microbes play a crucial role in regulating your immune system, producing vitamins, and even influencing your mood and brain health. So how does the gut connect to cellular aging? The key lies in how your microbiome communicates with your immune system and your cells. When your gut is healthy and balanced, beneficial microbes produce compounds called short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, such as butyrate. These SCFAs reduce inflammation, strengthen the gut lining, and even help protect your telomeres from shortening too quickly. In this balanced state, your cells receive signals that promote repair, resilience, and longevity. But when your gut falls into dysbiosis, an imbalance where harmful bacteria outnumber good ones, everything changes. Dysbiosis can lead to leaky gut. The gut lining becomes permeable, allowing toxins, microbes, and undigested food particles to leak into the bloodstream. This sparks widespread inflammation. Systemic inflammation: harmful bacteria release endotoxins that fuel chronic immune activation, accelerating cellular aging. Disrupted hormone and neurotransmitter balance: the gut produces about 90% of your body's serotonin, a key mood stabilizer. Dysbiosis contributes to anxiety, depression, and sleep problems, which indirectly worsen aging. The biggest factor influencing your microbiome is your diet. A gut-friendly diet promotes cellular youthfulness, while a gut-damaging diet speeds up aging. Foods that feed a healthy gut: fiber-rich foods like beans, lentils, oats, apples, and leafy greens. Fermented foods like sauerkraut, kefir, kimchi, and yogurt, which introduce beneficial probiotics. Polyphenol-rich foods like berries, green tea, cocoa, and olive oil. Foods that damage the gut: processed foods full of emulsifiers, preservatives, and artificial sweeteners. Excess alcohol, which strips away beneficial bacteria. Diets low in fiber, starving your microbes of fuel. Think of your gut microbiome as the soil of a garden. If the soil is rich, diverse, and well-nourished, the plants, your cells, thrive. But if the soil is depleted and toxic, the plants struggle, no matter how much sunlight or water they get. By nurturing your gut, you're essentially creating the conditions for every cell in your body to flourish and stay young. Chapter 7: Lifestyle Habits That Slow Cellular Aging. We often think of aging as something written in our DNA, outside of our control. But science has revealed a far more empowering truth: the way you live each day is one of the most powerful anti-aging medicines available. Lifestyle doesn't just change how you feel, it literally changes how your cells function, how your genes express themselves, and how fast your biological clock ticks. Let's break down the habits proven to keep cells youthful and resilient. 1. Exercise, the cellular rejuvenator. Movement isn't just about burning calories or building muscle, it directly affects cellular aging. Blood flow: exercise increases circulation, delivering oxygen and nutrients to every cell. This fuels repair and energy production. Mitochondrial boost: physical activity stimulates the growth of new mitochondria, making your cells more efficient at producing energy. Autophagy activation: exercise triggers autophagy, the body's way of cleaning out damaged cells and recycling them into healthier ones. Think of it as spring cleaning for your biology. Telomere protection: studies show that people who exercise regularly have longer telomeres compared to sedentary peers, meaning their cellular timekeepers stay intact longer. Even moderate movement makes a difference. Brisk walking, yoga, swimming, strength training, or even dancing in your living room all count. 2. Sleep, nature's repair mode. Sleep isn't just rest for the brain, it's the time when your body performs its deepest maintenance work. During deep sleep, your brain flushes out metabolic waste products through the glymphatic system. This helps prevent cognitive decline. Sleep triggers the release of growth hormone, which repairs tissues, muscles, and bones while supporting youthful skin. Lack of sleep increases cortisol, which accelerates telomere shortening and damages DNA repair mechanisms. The takeaway? Prioritize 7 to 9 hours of consistent, high-quality sleep. Dark, cool rooms, limited screen time before bed, and calming evening rituals, like herbal tea or gentle stretching, make a huge difference. 3. Stress management, protecting your inner clock. Stress is unavoidable, but chronic stress is toxic to your cells. High cortisol disrupts nearly every system in the body. It shortens telomeres, literally speeding up the cellular clock. It increases inflammation, damaging tissues and organs. It impairs mitochondrial function, reducing cellular energy. But the antidotes are simple and accessible. Meditation and mindfulness lower cortisol and reset the nervous system. Deep breathing shifts the body into parasympathetic mode, the state of healing and restoration. Time in nature reduces stress hormones while improving immune resilience. 4. Social connection, the biological shield. Loneliness isn't just painful emotionally, it's damaging biologically. People who lack strong social connections have shorter telomeres, higher inflammation, and weaker immune systems. In contrast, meaningful relationships, whether family, friends, or community, strengthen resilience at the cellular level. Sharing meals, laughter, and physical affection all release oxytocin, which counters stress and supports long-term health. 5. Purpose and joy, the mindset of longevity. Your mindset doesn't just shape your mood, it shapes your biology. People who report a strong sense of purpose in life live longer and healthier. Their telomeres are better preserved. Joyful experiences release dopamine and serotonin, which improve resilience and cellular repair. Optimism itself is protective. Studies show optimists live up to 10 years longer on average than pessimists. Sparkle's final thought: these habits are not luxuries. They are survival strategies hardwired into your biology. By weaving exercise, sleep, stress management, social connection, and joy into your daily life, you're not just slowing aging, you're actively creating a vibrant, youthful inner world. Chapter 8: Nutrition for Youthful Cells. Food is far more than fuel, it's information. Every bite you take sends signals to your cells, turning genes on or off, strengthening or weakening defenses, accelerating or slowing aging. Cellular superfoods: what to eat for longevity. Berries, pomegranates, grapes. Rich in polyphenols, anthocyanins, and antioxidants that neutralize free radicals, protect DNA, and activate longevity pathways like sirtuins. Pomegranates contain compounds that convert into urolithin A, which promotes mitochondrial health and autophagy. Fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel. Packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which support cell membranes, reduce inflammation, and improve brain health. Omega-3s also protect telomeres. Leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables. Spinach, kale, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts provide vitamins, minerals, and compounds like sulforaphane that support detoxification and DNA repair. Nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, chia, and flax seeds are rich in healthy fats, magnesium, zinc, and plant-based protein, all essential for cellular signaling and repair. Olive oil and green tea. Staples in blue zones, regions where people live exceptionally long lives. Olive oil is high in monounsaturated fats and polyphenols. Green tea contains catechins that fight oxidative stress and protect brain cells. Fermented foods. Kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, and miso feed beneficial gut bacteria, strengthening the microbiome and reducing systemic inflammation. What to avoid: foods that age you faster. Ultra-processed foods, packed with additives, refined sugar, and seed oils that drive inflammation and oxidative stress. Trans fats, found in many packaged baked goods and fast food, they damage cell membranes and accelerate cardiovascular aging. Refined sugars and flours cause blood sugar spikes, insulin resistance, and oxidative stress. Excess alcohol damages liver cells, disrupts hormones, and accelerates telomere shortening. Practical tip: think of every meal as a choice. You are either feeding disease or feeding longevity. Each plate is an opportunity to communicate youth, resilience, and vitality to your cells. Chapter 9: Cutting-Edge Science. Can we reverse cellular aging? For most of history, aging was seen as inevitable decline. But today, scientists are uncovering ways not just to slow aging, but to potentially reverse aspects of it. 1. NAD+ boosters. NAD+ is a molecule that fuels mitochondrial function and DNA repair. Levels decline sharply with age. Supplements like nicotinamide riboside, NR, and nicotinamide mononucleotide, NMN, are being studied for their ability to restore NAD+ and rejuvenate cells. 2. Senolytics. We discussed zombie cells earlier. Senolytics are compounds that clear them out. Early trials suggest that reducing senescent cells improves physical function and reduces disease risk in older adults. 3. Metformin and rapamycin. Metformin, a diabetes drug, appears to extend lifespan in animals by reducing oxidative stress and improving metabolism. Rapamycin targets mTOR, a key regulator of growth and aging, and has been shown to extend life in multiple species. 4. Epigenetic reprogramming. Our DNA doesn't change with age, but the epigenome, the chemical tags that control which genes are turned on or off, does. Scientists are exploring how to reset these markers to make cells behave more youthfully. Early lab work has shown that aged cells can be reprogrammed to a younger state without losing their identity. 5. Other frontiers. Stem cell therapies to replace damaged tissue. Gene editing tools like CRISPR to correct mutations. Artificial intelligence guiding personalized anti-aging medicine. Warning sign: most of these remain experimental. But they reveal a profound truth: aging is not fixed. It is plastic, malleable, and influenced by choices and interventions. Chapter 10: Your Cellular Youth Blueprint. We've covered the science. Now let's turn it into a practical blueprint, the steps you can take to keep your cells youthful every single day. 1. Move daily. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise, 5 days a week. Mix cardio, strength training, and flexibility work. Even walking counts. 2. Eat real food. Fill your plate with colorful plants, healthy fats, lean proteins, and fermented foods. Avoid ultra-processed food products as much as possible. 3. Protect your sleep. Set a regular bedtime and wake time. Keep your room dark, cool, and quiet. Avoid caffeine late in the day and screens before bed. 4. Lower stress. Practice mindfulness or meditation daily. Use deep breathing to calm your nervous system. Keep a gratitude journal to reframe your mindset. 5. Stay socially connected. Prioritize relationships, schedule time with friends and loved ones. Join groups or communities that give you belonging and purpose. 6. Avoid toxins. Limit smoking and alcohol. Minimize exposure to plastics, pesticides, and chemical-laden foods. 7. Stay curious and engaged. Challenge your brain with new skills, hobbies, or learning. Lifelong learning keeps neural pathways strong and cells resilient. Sparkle's final takeaway: cellular aging may be inevitable, but its speed is not. Every choice you make, what you eat, how you move, how you sleep, how you connect, either pushes the clock forward or slows it down. Your cells are listening. Feed them wisely, move them daily, and protect them with rest, joy, and love. In return, they will reward you with vitality, clarity, and resilience for decades to come.